Hi, this is Bucky with Transit and Level Clinic, and today we're going to do a quick tutorial on how to set up a VRS network inside of Spectra Precision Survey Pro. For simulation purposes, we are using version 5.7.2. However, the process is the same throughout the most current version. The very first thing we want to do is make sure we are in GNSS mode. We can do that by making sure that our icon to the right, or if you're using a Nomad or a T41 to the top or bottom, is a GPS receiver. If you're in optical mode, you will see an instrument there. So first thing, switch to GNSS and make sure that we are in that mode throughout the remainder of this tutorial. Again, we'll click on this icon and manage instruments, and we will come to our menu, which allows us to set up receiver profiles, networks, and change some of our post-processing settings. We do want to go to our network menu. There's two ways to do it, either by selecting on the tab at the top or the down selection menu here and then networks. We're going to add a network, and for demonstration purposes we are going to add the North Carolina VRS network. However, the process will be the same whether you're using Trumbull's or Leica SmartNet or another statewide network that's out there. So it is asking for a name. We can name it whatever we'd like. Here we're going to name it North Carolina VRS. Just make sure you name it something you can remember later down the road. And our default setup type is Network Rover, which is correct, and our server type is automatic. Now our address here in North Carolina is rtn.nc.gov. and our port is 2101. Of course, for your location, that may be different, or if you're in North Carolina, it may be the same. Now, the username and password down here, this is not where you're going to put your username and password for your network. We're going to do that a little bit later when we get to our connection screen for our various mount points. So we're going to leave it here, hit the green check to accept. We will see that in the list of networks. Of course, if you add multiple networks, you can add many down here, and you just have that list going further and further down. And then the green check to accept here. Now, the first time that we go to connect, we're going to hit Survey, Start Survey, and we're going to go into, just for, again, simulation purposes, our Demo Network Rover. Now, by default, the network option down at the bottom will come up as the Central Cloud Corrections for Rover. Central Cloud Corrections is a cloud correction service that allows us to connect a base and a rover through Spectra Precision Central, which is a free cloud service that Spectra Precision offers. This is a common support call because many people forget to change this as it is default to the network that we're connecting to. So again, we're connecting to North Carolina VRS. Make sure that that is in the box. First time, connect. And we receive a list of in-trip services, also known as mount points. Now, your mount points will definitely look different than this. This is just for simulation mode, but you will have types over here. So we have 2 mount points on the network, and then we have some mount points on multiple bases and single bases. Here in North Carolina, we have 4 network mount points, and then you will get an array of single base mount points as well. For this demonstration, we're going to connect to our Service 6 VRS Pay, and we get a username and a password box down at the bottom. Now, this is where you will add your username and password. So for this example, we're just going to do test 1 and test password. Now, it's important that you save this username and password for later. The reason why we want to do that is because generally when crews are out in the field, they will forget this, they will forget to bring it, they don't put a printout in the instrument case, and then they are pretty much SOL when it comes to connecting to their VRS out in the field. By checking this, that will stay there for that particular mount point, and they will connect straight through it. Now, the first time that you connect to it, it will add the mount point attached to this username and password to the previous screen down in this area. You will have a little check selection box over to the left-hand side, and by checking that box, it will automatically default to that mount point using that username and password. This is a great enhancement that Spectra Precision has put in there. It allows us to completely skip the mount point screen after we've connected the first time, which will take away a lot of the problems and a lot of the support later down the road. So you can check the little box that appears here, and then at that point you would connect, hit finish, and you should start receiving the corrections. If there's any other questions, any further questions, please contact us at 919-467-7782 or on the web at www.transitandlevel.com. Thank you for joining us.